Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Nathan Daley. Listen, I'm your law enforcement translator, here to give you guys a quick little update on some interesting news involving the Ahmaud Arbery case. Now listen, I know some people have been having some questions and are a little bit in disbelief in reference to the corruption piece. Had someone reach out to me and ask me in more details about how do I know this is corruption, and that I'm possibly just regurgitating things that the media is talking about, and whether there's any proof and things of that nature. Now, of course, there's always a presumption of innocence until proven guilty. But I wanted to dig further into it and kind of find out exactly what it was, because even myself, I'm not going to lie, in reference to the allegations with the DA, the previous or former DA, Jackie Johnson. One of the concerns was that it's a police officer's job to make an arrest, not the DA's office, right? It'd be one thing if they were arrested and then the charges were dropped by the DA's office, and the DA's office saying, hey, we're not going to prosecute that. To me, I would think that would be a very, very solid indication that the DA's office had an immediate hand in that particular situation. But that wasn't the case. Now listen, I've made charges against people before. I've gotten a warrant that's signed by the judge, and then it makes it to the DA's office, and the DA's like, we're not going to charge him for this or her for that, right? We're going to reduce this, or we're going to use a different charge, or we're going to upgrade the charge based on what our investigators came up with, right? Because the DA's office has their own investigators as well. Okay, so there are times where you could charge someone with something and the DA's office is like, we're not comfortable with that. We don't think that this is going to be a strong charge. We're going to reduce it, drop it. Or I've had cases where they've added. I've gone into a jury trial and they're like, hey, we've upgraded these charges. Why? Maybe they found something on the suspect's criminal record or criminal history, and they decided that they're going to, hey, based on his criminal history and this and that, we're going to add this, we're going to add that, or we're going to take this off. So they do have that flexibility, but the initial charge, that's on the police officers. That's on the investigators. That's on the police department. So I think it's very interesting. So maybe look further into it. One of the things that I found out, all right, is that as we know, Gregory McMichael used to actually work for the DA's office. He was a subordinate to Jackie Johnson, right? That was his supervisor. Now, what did Greg McMichaels do after the murder of Ahmaud Arbery? He actually called Jackie Johnson, and he left her a voicemail saying that, hey, I'm in trouble, call me back, it's an emergency, right? So Greg McMichael reached out to her. That's a problem. Now, though he reached out, within itself doesn't mean anything, but let me pull something up. I'm gonna read to you the actual affidavit, the actual warrant that Jackie Johnson is being charged with, and we'll read the probable cause. That way you can actually see for yourself that this isn't something that they just pulled out of their hat, right? And these are allegations that they are backing up with evidence, okay? So let's pull that up and let's take a look. Okay, so right here we have this affidavit. This is from the Superior Court. And let's take a look at it. Again, we have the name here, Jacqueline Lee Johnson. And it is signed by the Attorney General of Georgia. All right, zoomed in a little bit more, so let's go ahead and take a look. I went ahead and highlighted. Listen, you guys, I'm over here highlighting stuff for y'all. I want you guys to see what I see. All right, so let's take a look. This is violation of oath of public officer, OCGA 1610-1, for those who want to take a look at that on their own. Basically, this states that Jackie Johnson did willfully and intentionally violate the terms of her oath as prescribed by law. What did she do? Right now, we're going to get into the probable cause. We're going to get to the elements and the description of what she actually did. It says on or about February 23rd, 2020, said accused violated the above provision of her oath of district attorney by showing favor and affection to Greg McMichael during the investigation into the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery. thereby failing to discharge her duties as district attorney. So then, plain and simple, very straightforward, it says, listen, she showed favor. She showed favor. She showed affection, right? This is a problem. Now, they can't just make these charges up. They have to have something that is able to support these claims, these allegations, right? A judge would never sign off on that. This is violation of oath is a very serious charge for a public official. It means you failed in the oath that you took, right? There's your integrity has been compromised. Okay, that's what this is. Your integrity has been compromised and you failed your duties as a servant to the people. And what'd she do? She showed favoritism to Greg. Did she have motive? Absolutely. That's her previous subordinate. He worked under her. He worked for her, right? So now let's look at the second charge. This is count 2. And this is the bread and butter. This is what a lot of people want to know about. The obstruction. What did she do? Right? She obstructed law enforcement for carrying out an arrest against Gregory McMichael, Travis McMichael, and even Brian Williams, right? So a lot of people are confused about this, but listen, let's look at what it reads, and I'm gonna explain to you why I feel very strongly about it. All right, so let's take a look at count 2. This is obstruction and hindering a law enforcement officer. On February 23rd, 2020, Jackie Johnson did knowingly and willfully hinder Stephanie Oliver, Stephen Lowry, law enforcement officers with Glenn County Police Department. I put names in here. And the lawful discharge of their official duties by directing that Travis McMichael should not be placed under arrest, contrary to the laws of said state, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. It's right there, you guys. It's right there. They name dropped. Why is the name drop important? They put the officers' names in here. Officer Oliver, Officer Lowry. Why is that important? These officers are key witnesses. Best believe they had to write an affidavit. They had to put this on paper. They had to put a statement down saying, hey, listen, we reached out. There's proof, whether via email, via text message, via voicemail. There is evidence to support this claim. You cannot make these charges up out of thin air. There has to be substantial evidence to support this allegation. There's some people saying that, the Attorney General is just playing politics. No, he's not, you guys. He's not playing politics. I'm telling you how this stuff works behind the scenes. There has to be substantial evidence. They would not have put these officers' names in there if they didn't have anything solid. Something went wrong during this transaction. Something actually took place, right? And they have the evidence to back these claims. They have to, or they wouldn't have put the officers' names in there. The officers are and will have to testify under oath. And listen, when these things start hitting the fan, people are like, look, it's not worth my job. I'm about to lose my job because you want to do something wrong illegally or cut corners. So the reality is they have evidence. And what else evidence they have? Again, like I pointed out, they have an actual voicemail, right? Gregory McMichaels reached out to the former DA, Jackie Johnson, and said, hey, I need help. I need your advice. Call me back. It's an emergency. I got into some stuff, right? What did that conversation between them look like? Who knows? We're going to find out, though. It's not looking good, you guys. This is the part of the corruption piece, right? This is the stuff that people do not like when it comes to the criminal justice system. That there are avenues that some people can take to circumvent around the law that other people don't have access to, right? This is the things that people want to address and nip. They want to take this option away from people from illegally having unfair access to the courts. And I completely understand. Listen, you guys, the average public servant is working hard each and every day with integrity to uphold the laws. Okay? And even we recognize and see sometimes when things are unfair. And a lot of us address it. Sometimes we can, sometimes we can address it, and sometimes we can't address it. You know, there's a lot of things that go on in the criminal justice system that sometimes officers and other people within the system are limited on doing. You know, it's not as easy as you guys think. I promise you. And I'll speak more about that as well. I'm doing a video about this good cop versus bad cop situation, and I'm gonna give my review and breakdown on that. So anyways, you guys, so that's the news. That's the evidence. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think? Anyways, guys, that's what the warrant looks like. Those are the key elements to those allegations. And I wanted you to see it because, again, I know there's a lot of things that are being said, and it's so hard to kind of pick and choose which one is accurate, what information to listen to. But at least this way you can kind of see for yourself, like, what's being said, right? And where they're getting this information from. Because I was a little bit bothered by it. I was kind of unsure what that looked like. How did the DA's office stop this arrest? So that was a very interesting thing to find out, that there are officers who are in the warrant who have provided evidence to some extent or some degree that supports that the DA, Jackie Johnson, influenced this investigation to which they prevented these gentlemen from being arrested for murder. So anyways, you guys, thank you for your time. Let me know your thoughts. I'm curious to know what you think. For those who believe that there's no corruption, I mean, again, I just like to present the facts. I like to present the facts and then translate them so that it's digestible. All right. I'm your law enforcement translator, you guys, and I'm out. Check. Also, as you know, our numbers are going up. Thank you for my new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. I'm open to your feedback. Let me know what you think. You guys, I'm still learning YouTube, so I'm still trying to get my rhythm together. I appreciate your patience. Again, welcome to the channel, and I hope you find this content valuable. Please give it a like, thumbs up, and until next time, have a good night. God bless.